Alright, this is going to be my first reloading video, and I don't know, I'm just getting into it, so it may not be any good. Everything I'm doing may be totally wrong, but I got some from Widener's. I got some once fired NATO brass here, and I've done a few different things, trying to clean it, trying to do different things, trying to get ready, and I've run into a couple problems. The first problem I had was with the lead dies that I ordered. I could not get them to work at all. The depriming pin, I could not get it to work. It kept on, you know, poking out of the top, and it just wouldn't. And I don't know, I tried everything in the world, and I just couldn't get it to do anything. I had this thing tightened down so tight I couldn't even, there's no way I could get it any tighter. And finally I did get it to cut work for a couple of them, but it just wasn't consistent. So I don't know, I called Lee, or I emailed Lee back and forth a few times, and they sent me a new one. They sent me a new pin and a new nut here, and I don't know, ever since I put that in, I tried several, I haven't had any trouble at all. Then the second problem I ran into was with the little case trimmer deal here. You know, I don't know if it's the thickness of the brass or what, but after I ran them through the sizer, cleaned them with the primer still in, deprimed them and sized them, after I tried to do the trimming thing, that the trimmer wouldn't fit down in there. So I don't know if it's the thickness of the brass. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but I couldn't get that to work. So this is what I finally came up with. It seems like hopefully it's going to work well for me. I got two things to do it. I got my turret press here. I've got just a regular depriming die, universal lead depriming die. Then I've got the what's this thing called? Cutter. Let me see. Lee quick trim. And I don't know. This is just the manual model. And then I ordered, of course, the 223 trim die. I don't know. I kind of wish I would have got the power model now, that after I looked at it or whatever, but you know, this is working fine for me, and I think it may be more, you know, consistent in the long run. So I've tried a few things to clean the brass and different things. I tried washing a bunch of them, then trying different things, but I don't know, what's working well for me so far is because this stuff is so dirty. I mean, it's extremely dirty when you get it. I just get like a damp cloth, or like you could use a wash rag or towel or anything, and just, you know, wipe the outside, get all the gunk and, you know, debris off of it, you know. Then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and you know, deprime it, trim it, and you know, that gets it all deburred, trimmed up nice. And I got the length set, because when you prime them, or when you resize them, they're a little bit long. So I pretty much got it to the trim length 1.75, which is what it says. Then after I resize them, they'll grow a little bit, but not enough, you know, to increase the overall length over the maximum. So then there's one more step you got to do. You got to get out the crimped pocket there. So I've tried different things. I had like a little countersink that I used, and I did that a few, and it worked fine. And I've seen the tools you can order online, but what I finally did is I just got like a little it's a countersinking bit. See there, just a little countersinking bit. It was like $7 or $8, I think. Put it in a drill. Then all you gotta do is just put it in here like this and give a couple quick trims. You can see the brass just flying off of there. So there we go. We got our primer removed. I got it trimmed. I got the crimp removed. Got the outside of the case, all the dirt and grime off the outside of the case. So now I just throw it in the tumbler, and when I get that done, you know, and then some of them I've been cleaning the primer pockets as I go on some of them too. But so far that's my little system I've got, you know, and what I want to end up with is this. You know, this is the final goal here. And I've tried different things through you know, trial and error. And it seems like this method, for me, even though it's a little slow, it's working the best. You know, the deep, you know, wipe them down, deprime, trim, remove the primer pocket, throw them in a tumbler, get them cleaned up, then we're ready to start loading. You know, the second step, which is you know, resizing and loading and all that. So if anybody wants to make any comments about what I'm doing, something I'm doing wrong, a better way to do it, I mean, I'm glad to hear it, because this is just a little, you know, this is trial and error. I'm just starting out with this. I got this NATO brass. I got 1,000 rounds to work with, so I've just been messing around and seeing what works for me.